Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another movie review. Please excuse the way I sound. I came down with a little bit of cold. I tell you, I don't know what the hell it is with this weather. This global warming stuff, I'm telling you, it's insane. But I feel like I've come down with a little bad case of allergies, so just bear with me a little bit. But today I'm here to talk about Air, the latest film from Ben Affleck, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck himself, Jason Bateman, Marlon Wayans, Chris Messina, Chris Tucker, and Viola Davis. And this is obviously the story about Nike executive Sonny Vaccaro scouting out Jordan to join this product line and doing something that had never been done before, and of course resulting in the birth of the Air Jordans as we know them today. Now, this film obviously takes place in 1984. I mean, yeah, and they make it very clear to you that it took place in 1984. And believe it or not, the first two songs in the movie were both off of albums on the Nathaniel A. Hart Johnny Radio's countdown of the top 80 albums of the 80s. So, which ones are they? Well, I'll let you watch the movie and find out for yourself. But still, the soundtrack is definitely really awesome overall. Some may say one too many needle drops, but it certainly doesn't detract from the film. But I think the story itself, how this movie got picked up, obviously, was a script on the blacklist that Ben Affleck wanted to make, but he didn't want to do it without Jordan's permission. And the one stipulation Jordan said before they went ahead with this movie is to cast Viola Davis as his mother. And the movie got made. Luckily, she agreed to do it, and here we are talking about it right now. And I know it came out a few weeks ago, so I am a little behind on this. But let me catch you up to speed. Obviously, you know the cast is great. Matt Damon, obviously great as the everyman in every movie. He's just such a relatable guy in that sense, and I think his passion and his drive comes through in every line and monologue he delivers. There's one monologue near the end that like almost brought me to tears. Like, it really is that good. Of course, the supporting cast that rounds him out is awesome. Ben Affleck is great as Phil Knight, and he has a few funny gags here and there. Chris Messina is definitely the most cartoonish out of all of them, but still, like, he has some of the funniest lines in the whole movie, as well as Jason Bateman is so great in this, and I think has a really beautiful standout scene from him. But to me, like, the standouts, at least in regards to, I wasn't expecting them to be as good, were Marlon Wayans and Chris Tucker. Like, taking these two, obviously primarily comedic actors that have proven before that they are very talented, in putting them in the scene. I mean, Marlon Wayans is in one scene and he basically steals the whole movie. Just this one speech that he has, it's absolutely awesome. And Chris Tucker, he still has those Tuckerisms about him, but he's much more toned down than, what you'd expect on, like, Rush Hour or something. And I'm not particularly a fan of his humor in that movie, but I really like what he did here. Very, very sensitive performance, and also brings that comedic edge that we would know from Chris Tucker at this point in time. And obviously Viola Davis is really good in everything. It's not her best performance, but I think the fact that they cast her as Dolores Jordan, I think really was the right move. And some say, oh, anybody could have played her, but I don't know. Like, I just love seeing Viola Davis in everything, so I'm not going to complain about that. But the script that was, obviously taken off the blacklist, I absolutely love how whip smart and how fast the dialogue is going in this film. It really brings me back to something like Argo, where, it's an insanely clever script. And I'm not saying it's as good as Argo, obviously, but I just love the banter between these characters. It really is what makes this film as riveting, as engaging as it is. Like, at a certain point, I'm like, oh my goodness, I am so into this movie, even though it definitely follows a very Hollywood formula, you know what I mean, especially the inspirational sort of, kind of aura about it. You'd expect it from a sports biopic like this, but I absolutely love just how this story comes together. The editing is really great overall, I would say, but my biggest problem with this movie is it's not really a big issue, but I think the ending, it just goes on. It feels like it ends multiple times, and not like Return of the King, obviously, but in a way where it's just, okay, like we could have wrapped this up a few minutes ago. We didn't need to go all this way. This doesn't really add too much to the story. And because I was really loving it before that point. It was going to be, a solid 8.5 for me. But, it didn't quite hit that mark for me. But I think that this is a triumphant return to form for Ben Affleck, obviously. And a great advertisement for Nike. And they do kind of address the sweatshop thing a little bit. It's kind of glance over. But I think the reason this movie works so well is almost all the characters get a little moment to shine and to get some development. And the dialogue is riveting. You're invested in it all the way through. I think if this film wasn't as smart as it was, it wouldn't have worked as well. And I'm glad that Ben Affleck and company really put something special together here. I think it's a great return to form, like I said, for Affleck. I can't wait to see what he does next. And on that note, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Really, really good movie. One of the best of the year, but, obviously there haven't been too many. So the bar hasn't really been set that high yet. But still, I'm really, really glad that this film was as enjoyable as it was. And yeah, guys, have you seen Air? Let me know in the comments below what you think. I know I'm a little behind on the curve, just so much going on, but still, I'd love to hear what you guys thought about it when you saw it. And of course, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Going to be finishing out the Nathaniel A. Hart's Top 100 Greatest Films of All Time series. Not sure when it's going to conclude with all I have going on. And on that note, I do want to see, I think the next movie I want to review is Beau is Afraid, because obviously it was one of my most anticipated of 2023, but I might have to wait to see it next week. I'm just so slammed with all my work from grad school, and it's very overwhelming, so just bear with me. I just hope that you guys watch the review when it comes out, okay, because I am going to see it. It's one of my most anticipated of the year, so be sure to check that out when it does drop in a week or so. And yeah, guys, take it easy for now. Don't stress yourself out too much. Take a note from me. And I bid you adieu until then. Take it easy now.